Okay, we've got the questions here now, and I'm going to grab the microphone and go over to the middle aisle here. I'm going to ask Jack Dempsey to come up. I hope the boxer is not with us somehow by virtue of a miracle.
My question is, what is the relevance of Abraham Lincoln to today's inner city Detroit youth?
An example of perseverance, of hard work, of commitment to an ideal, of desire to serve other people as well as yourself, to keep your families intact, to take menial jobs as a first step if that's what it's required to survive, to never ever give up hope, to keep striving, to respect yourself and your family and your neighbors. I mean, these are, when we talk about Lincoln being a good man, these are good moral lessons that all of us, whether we're in the inner city in Detroit or in the penthouse at the Marriott, these are just fundamentally good ideals.
Let me ask Stephen Spreiter, I think that's the name, I hope I've got it pronounced right, to come up and ask his question here.
You know, we in Detroit suffer from spatial racism, the prolonged result of those with means and power separating from the other, from the public contract Lincoln stood for. Please share Lincoln's wisdom with us.
I spoke at a little high school the other night, and it was a public high school that's doing an international baccalaureate, and it was about half black and half white. And I said, this is the best education in the world, because they have got to take on a world that knows more about us than we do about them. And they've got to take on a world that understands poverty. And you can only get that in a public school. And we abandoned public schools, and we abandoned the central cities. But the centrals, I mean, there was a time when I lived in New York. New York was and is the United Nations. Detroit is the United Nations. If you really want to get a degree in globalization, walk the streets of Detroit, go to the restaurants in Detroit. You know, don't stay off by yourself. It's here. We just haven't gotten secure enough to appreciate it yet.
All right, well, we are unfortunately out of time, but this has been a wonderful conversation, and I want to stress that this is a beginning. It's a beginning, I understand it, in some ways of the kinds of programs that will begin to happen here at the Ford Museum in terms of bringing together community conversations. It's a continuation, but all continuations are a beginning of the town halls that the Abraham Lincoln Bicentennial Commission have been having around the country. I want to thank the panelists, and I want to also thank the audience for your wonderful questions, your attention, and your spirit. We are all in a position to make our contributions in bringing about a more perfect union. Thank you very much.
Lincoln's Legacy was brought to you by the Fetzer Institute, www.fetzer.org, and by these organizations.